Jon Favreau announces The Mandalorian Season 4, beyond the movie.
A fine addition to my collection.
Hope you guys are well. Before we begin, the Black Friday sale is now on at TheorySabers.com, as well as the launch of the new hat and the new hoodie for Episode 2. Fans of The Mandalorian have been wondering for months whether a fourth season is still on the table or if the story has fully shifted towards the upcoming Mandalorian and Grogu. Now creator Jon Favreau is clearing the air and offering some surprising insight into where things actually stand. We all know that Mando Season 1 and 2 were pretty awesome. Well, it was widely loved, right? For the most part. Season 3, I think we can pretty much all agree that it was not the same. It was lackluster, to be nice. In the newest issue of the Empire magazine, Favreau revealed that the story for a full fourth season already exists and was never abandoned. He explained, "We were planning on doing a fourth season. I had actually written all of that. I still have Season 4 sitting on my desk here." This confirms that the material wasn't created as a springboard for the movie. This is news to me. I thought Season 4 essentially was the movie. Instead, Favreau clarified that The Mandalorian and Grogu was built differently from the ground up, saying it's structured around a movie structure as opposed to a serialized weekly television show. So there's a larger throw to the whole thing. So while the scripts are completed, they were not simply reworked into the film. They stand as their own separate continuation of the story. That's really interesting. Yeah, I thought, they've reset The Mandalorian with the pretty abhorrent Season 3 with just bringing Moff Gideon back and turning him into like a successful Force-sensitive clone. I think there were like 8 of them or something like 7 of them, which is impossible to do in Star Wars. You can't do that. You can't create a Force. I mean, if you could, then you would have like 100 Force-sensitive Anakins.
Good. Twice the pride, double the fall.
All with perfect efficacy, with the chosen one potential in all of them. It can't happen. There's a reason why it doesn't work. And that was illustrated really well in the Force Unleashed games. Even with those scripts ready to go, the odds of Mandalorian Season 4 happening remain slim. So yeah, this is wild to me, that Season 4 still won't happen. It's like what Disney did, it's like what Bob Iger did with George Lucas's sequel trilogy treatment, saying that he's going to take them into consideration and then just did nothing with them whatsoever, right? Unless that's what they're going to try and go for now with the Mall show, perhaps building upon that or bleeding into it. I don't know. Right now, only one live-action Star Wars series for Disney Plus is known to be in development, while The Mandalorian and Grogu has already wrapped filming and Sean Levy's Starfighter movie is underway. The current strategy seems focused on returning Star Wars to theaters and letting characters like Din Djarin and Grogu make that transition with as much momentum as possible. Now, from what I've seen for the Mando and Grogu movie, I don't think there is much momentum. First of all, how much momentum can you have when you restart the entire thing back to essentially Season 1, kind of? It's just Mando and Grogu kicking their feet up, wondering what the next big contract is going to be. Come on, man. You had it so good at the end of Season 2. And they just destroyed that with Boba by bringing Grogu back. Essentially having Luke Uber his ass back to Mando on Tatooine. Super lame. Destroyed how great it could have been. They built it up so good, man. They had something so great. And they were this close. But I guess fear got the best of them, and they really wanted to sell more Mando merch, more Grogu merch. And they were probably fearful that they wouldn't be able to if Grogu wasn't with Mando for another season or something like that. So they pulled the plug, and they got desperate, I guess. Played it safe. Favreau emphasized the accessibility. The film will still connect to what's happening in Ahsoka Season 2, but newcomers won't be lost. Empire reports that newcomers who don't know their Ahsoka from their elbow can jump right in. Well, isn't that great? Let's take perhaps the most lore-heavy franchise, Star Wars, and make it for... it pisses me off, man. Listen, the people who want to get on board with Star Wars, they should get caught up, right? They should be incentivized to go and watch the shows or whatever. They should watch the movies at least. They don't have to read the lore. They don't have to read all the books and all that. God knows I haven't read all the books. But they should at least know the first 6 films. And if they're going into Mandalorian stories, they should watch the show. But to be able to jump into Ahsoka and all they don't have to know Ahsoka from their elbow. And that's, to me, just going to be a very simple movie that probably will gloss over very general themes. right? I want a Star Wars that goes deep into the weeds of lore, of deep shit, just nerdy stuff. That, frankly, the only way to do that is if it's something that only real nerds and heavy Star Wars fans, sweaties, will know about, right? Because that's what makes it interesting. You go that deep in the weeds, you're that interested in something to go out of your way and find the deep reasons why, hence why my channel exists and so many other Star Wars creators, because we enjoy that stuff. You like going into the deep weeds of the things. You like going underwater to the land of the Gungans. You like discovering that stuff. Yeah, from what I've seen for the Mando movie, it just doesn't seem to be that compelling. You know, there's nothing drawing us in, right? Everything was fine and dandy, happily ever after at the end of season 3. That came right after the most climactic, oh my God, of season 2. And yeah, that's eventually how it should end up, but not the way it did. And this doesn't really make me want to go and see the movie. Personally, I think what they should do is they should hold off on the movie, launch season 4, get it really up to date, get it interesting, have us intrigued like we were, up the stakes, and then release a movie that has to do with a continuation of that. Or, they just do a season 4, which would be after the movie, which gets kind of convoluted. So where does that leave things? Season 4 is ready to go, the scripts are real, and Favreau still has the pages sitting on his desk. Whether we ever see that story unfold will depend on how well the Mandalorian and Grogu... This is so annoying. The thing with George is that he was using the money from Star Wars, from all of it, the merch, the DVDs, the sales, all that stuff, to fund essentially the Clone Wars, which was losing money just to tell the story. But if you look at it as an overall pot, it's still making money, but certain projects aren't upholding their worth. The Clone Wars, for example, wasn't, but Lucasfilm, in essence, it was still doing fine. I just think that they really missed the mark with season 2. With season 3, I think they had something really amazing, really beautiful, and to not stick to their guns with what they wrote and keep Grogu and Mando separated really missed out on a lot of great story building opportunities and individual story progression, character progression for Mando and Grogu on their own. And with Luke, it bugs me. And I'm hoping that the movie will be great, but I'm not really excited, to be honest with you. And you can probably tell why. So I hope it is. I like Jon Favreau, but I just think that whatever happened with season 3 really missed the mark, and it really alienated a lot of fans, and they just kind of left. They're like, I don't really care anymore, right? And that's what I hear from so many people, right? Season 1 and 2, great. Season 3, whatever, who cares? And that's not the kind of energy you want going into a Mando and Grogu movie. We'll see what happens with that. But yeah, hey, I hope we do get to see a season 4. Mando and Grogu is probably my favorite Disney thing that they've done since George sold Star Wars. So all the best to Jon Favreau, and I hope that he gets an amazing turnout for Mando and Grogu. And I hope it's going to be good. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one. May the Force be with you, always. This is the way.
This is the way.
Now, fulfill your destiny.